Welcome to Freed on Business. He grew up in South Florida, has been in business here since the early 90s, and has closed over $3 billion in deals. He's seen it all. He always has an opinion, and he's always ready to share it. Informed, entertaining, and connected, he has his finger on the pulse of South Florida's business community. He's Jim Freed, and this is Freed on Business.
Hey everybody, welcome to another edition of Freed on Business. You can see that the Freed on Business studio continues to evolve. We'll be unpacking the boxes, and hopefully in a couple of weeks, they'll be its tremendous self again. I want to welcome Missy Hunter on the show today. We're going to talk in the first half hour with Melissa about an issue that is extraordinarily important to me in the United States of America and your community, and that's food insecurity. You go, what's that? You'll find out, and you'll find out why it's really important to you and your business. We're also going to talk in the second half hour about what I've learned about the growth of the real estate market here in Miami at the Bisnow conference. I actually did it. I put on a suit, I put on a tie, I cut my hair, and I went to an event. Yes, I kept a table between me and everybody else as much as possible. And I did go talk to Mayor Suarez. That guy's tremendous. So we'll have all kinds of great comments, food insecurity, and then real estate here on Freed on Business. Regan Mendoza, take it away. Everybody, with South Florida's longest running business talk show. We've been on since 2008. We're starting our 14th season. Oh my God, am I getting old? Anyway, our sponsors since 2008 have been the folks at Warren Henry. I want to always give a thank you and a shout out to them. They're in the process of getting my wife her new car. So thank you, Larry. Thank you, Warren. Thank you, Samantha. And thank you, Eric. Thank you, Abe. We'll have Abe Cohn on talking about Lamborghini, maybe even next week, couple weeks, sometime soon. Anyway, so when you're looking to buy or lease a new car, you want to get every advantage that you can. That's why I have to check out Warren Henry Land Rover, Range Rover, Infiniti, and Jaguar up at 151st and Biscayne in their new showroom. It's gorgeous. I love that place. Down in the Keys, they sell them all. Up in Gainesville, they sell Audis. What do they got in common? They're all great cars, and they all come with a Warren Henry advantage. That's a whole list of things. But let me tell you what the real advantage of buying at Warren Henry is. You become a member of the Warren Henry family. That's right. It's really tremendous. Our service person, May Stark, she makes sure that we get taken care of tremendously. And they got all these different things. They'll give you a dent repair, polish up your wheels. But the real thing is they'll give you 3 days to make sure you like your car. Guess what? You will. No one returns those cars. They're all tremendous. So join me, my mom, my beautiful wife, Vivian. We're all members of the Warren Henry family. Lots of my friends, too. Always the best price. Always the best service. Always Warren Henry. Well, kindness and community involvement are going to be our theme today. And if you need to be with positive energy on your real estate transaction, you need a little advice, a little help, a little guidance, give me a call. Reach out to me, DM me. Preferred equity, just closed a big preferred equity deal on some apartments. Did a big condo inventory loan, like $90 million. Land loan, did that. Medical facilities, do that too. Give me a call. Reach out to me. Why? Because when you call me, it's always all about you.
Welcome back to Freed on Business. Connect with us on LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter at Jim Freed or at Freed on Business, and on Instagram at Jim Freed1. Now, back to your host, Jim Freed.
All right, we're back. We're back with Missy Hunter. She's the VP of Marketing for Umoja Supply Chain. Everybody butchers that. We're going to talk about why we all come together to help other people in our community. Welcome, Missy Hunter. How you doing, Missy?
I'm doing wonderful. Thank you, Jim. I appreciate being here.
Now, tell me about what, I can't pronounce the word, obviously, what that word means and why it's important to what you're doing.
Happy to. So the word is Umoja, and it's unity in Swahili. And that really kind of ties in as the unifying thread for everything that we do. So We're united in the fight for equity and access to food and healthcare for all. We're united in providing the best possible products and services to all of the partners we work with. And we're united in our shared values of respect, dignity, empathy, and integrity.
Wow. Well, there's one thing that our good friend Rebecca Carlton will know that I'm going to say right now, and it sounds like you and I have what I call an alignment of interests, strategic alignment. We see things the same way. So I really appreciate you coming on the show and talking a little bit about what your firm does. Now, I have guys on the show, people on the show, we always talk about logistics. This is really a logistics issue, isn't it? Because there's food out there, but the food may not get to the people that need it.
It is a logistics issue at the backbone. It's logistics and it's access. And so that really comes down to the knowledge and the ability to find the right products, source them, and get them to the right place so that we can get them into the hands of food banks and hunger organizations across the country.
You know, what's really interesting is that most people don't really know that this problem exists, and they really don't understand the logistics. I'll give you an example of my understanding of the issue. I ran for city commission here a couple of years ago in the city of Miami, and I went to some people and they asked me if I could help them get some food. I said, sure, I'll go to get some food cards from Publix. There ain't no Publix that they can get to. I didn't realize that. It's a food desert. And people use that term, and you drive down the street and you see it everywhere. You see it, you see places to shop for food everywhere, and you don't understand why people can't get there. Missy, why can't people get food?
Well, there's a number of contributing factors, and it really depends on, like you say, there's the geographic factor. So there's food deserts. There are people in a number of what tend to be more rural areas across the country that simply don't have that 2 and 3 and 4 grocery stores 5 minutes from their home where they can access nutritious foods. So a lot of times those folks will end up spending their money at convenience stores that have far fewer nutritious and healthier options, and the cost of food is more expensive. So there's a geographic issue to it. There's also an income issue that really drives the food insecurity factor. That's the ability to simply be able to purchase enough healthy foods on a regular basis, a dependable basis, to ensure that you're feeding your family. And then there's an access issue when it comes to things like transportation. So in rural communities, a lot of people will take for granted the fact we can hop in our car, head anywhere we need to go. But in some of these rural communities across the country, simply having a single car for the household makes it difficult to get out and get access to food, especially when those stores are further away.
Well, in these rural communities, they're also where you're going to see an unequal concentration of people that need help, because most of the production of food and manufacturing in these outlying areas is driven by a lot of people that may not have the income level required to travel and buy high quality food.
Exactly. And that's where food banks and hunger relief organizations can really have a huge impact. We work with a number of those organizations in states across the country to ensure that we can get them the right products at the right price, so that they can make as much of the budget they have stretch as far as possible.
Hold on, because that's a perspective that I, as a very, very informed person on this issue, never really thought through. So the folks at the food banks or the provision and places, they get state funding, they get federal funding, they get grants, they get church money. They still need to buy stuff. You're the people they buy from?
We are the people they buy from.
Wow.
One of the reasons we can really make that happen, again, comes back to the food and logistics background we have. We have 100 years in food and supply chain logistics, 50 years combined with our team in working with hunger organizations. So we understand that they often have to make that budget stretch as far as possible. And that budget also has to cover the cost of transportation. So we have warehouses in strategic locations across the country so that we can deliver and keep that cost of freight low, but also deliver the right goods they're needing in the right combination that they need.
Now, I just don't know the answers, and I really appreciate it when you give them to me.
I'm happy to.
Farm to table is what a lot of my friends like to eat. Now, There's lots of farmers in every area, both outside and during the winter inside up where you live. Is it possible to get fresh farm to table food that's affordable for the people that provide me with my ability to run my life? Because that's what we're talking about here.
It is, but again, the geography varies across the country. And I know farm to table is a really popular movement in supporting local produce, local producers and farmers. Part of the challenge with that is that think about where different goods are grown throughout the country. And so there really are some areas that the climate isn't as conducive to growing a wide variety of different produce and various items like that. And so the ability to transport those goods, to maintain temperature, to ensure you get it there when it's fresh, get it through these distribution networks, that's what we really know how to do so that folks in California can take advantage of produce that is so popular and so beautifully grown in the state of Florida.
Yeah, I talked to a group that's from overseas. They're starting to build vertical agriculture facilities in high ceiling height warehouses. It sounds to me like affiliating with a group like that might be a very productive introduction, because I'm sure that while they grow food, every food production facility always has extras or things that fall on the side. I mean, they talk about that in the Bible, for goodness sakes. Thoughts?
They do. I mean, that's an interesting concept. And that's one of the things that we love at Umoja is innovation and using what we know, partnering with other providers in our ecosystem so that we can take ideas, share them, integrate with them, and then continue to deliver new solutions. So
I've got to believe that having you involved in a new project that would be food logistics would add to the points for the developer, for instance. Like they call it here in Miami, a public benefit, and then they get points and can do a bigger deal. So just a little idea for you as you try to deploy in other markets. Maybe we can find people that need the glow that you would give their transaction, because everybody wants to help. I think that very much in the pandemic, we found this, certainly in the state of Florida, that the food was in different places than the people were. And they worked very hard to promote what was being grown in the area and how people could get it on both a direct retail level and also on a wholesale distribution level for people that needed it. Did you see that happening in the pandemic? And what were some areas that we could look to that would be forward thinking, that would have great ideas where we could steal some to help the world be a better place?
We did. There were a number of really, I think, key learnings from the pandemic for the food supply chain as a whole, as well as the logistics side of things. I mean, a lot of people knew truckers were still out there and they were essential to move our goods, food and otherwise, from one point to another across the country, as a lot of us were at home trying to stay as safe as possible. One of the big things that it really kind of bore through is, and I think a lot of people felt this on the food side, they felt it even in the toilet paper debacle that happened, right? Is the fact that we have channels to that supply chain. So we have people who supply food that is packed in much larger quantities for the use of food service folks. And so those are restaurants and they'll buy in larger quantities versus what you would be as an individual consumer going to a Publix or a retail store and buying a much smaller quantity of that item. Once it's packed that way, it's difficult for that chain to reverse itself and to move those goods into a format that's easier to get to individuals versus on a larger quantity. And so the silo effect that happens with some of these channels in food distribution really got a wake-up call in terms of how can we creatively think of getting farm goods, fresh produce through distribution networks to food banks, which that's actually been growing in a number of years. And we can actually do that. So that's a part of what we do in our effort for distributing fresh and pantry items. So we can combine the two in a single box and we can deliver those kinds of things.
I want to pick up on that right after the break. For the record, my mom worked at the Daily Bread Food Bank for a while, so we've even given some elbow grease to this, as well as some thought to it. And as you know, we're really involved in this as a family. I can't thank you enough for being here now, Missy. Can you stick with me and do another segment?
Absolutely.
Thank you so much. I would really appreciate that. Mr. Regan Mendoza, it's yours. We're South Florida's longest running business talk show. We've been on since 2008. We're entering our 14th year. High five to Mendoza for hanging in there with me. And high five to Missy for being here to be such a tremendous guest on our first guest in our new volume, I guess. I don't know what you call it. Season. Anyway, thank you, of course, to Warren Henry. He's been with us since, a long time at this point, 13, I think. Anyway, when you're looking to buy or lease a new car, you want to get every advantage that you can. That's why I have to check out Warren Henry. I love these people. Land Rover, Range Rover, Infiniti, and Jaguar here at 151st and Biscayne. High five to the folks up there. Up in Gainesville, they sell Audis. Go Gators. And in the Keys, they sell them all. That's where I'm going to go get my Jeep. Like, really, choice. I don't think I'm going to get one of those. What do they all have in common? They're all great cars, and they all come with the Warren Henry Advantage. It's a whole suite of services that I don't have on my list because it's still not unpacked. But it includes the fact that you can trade in your car after 72 hours if you don't like it. Nobody trades in because they love the cars. Join me, my wife, my mom, lots of my friends. We're all members of the Warren Henry family. You should be too. Always the best price, always the best service, always Warren Henry.
This is Becca Carlson from Carlson Integrated. You know, a lot of our clients find that they can do anything, but not really everything. We are always excited to jump in and help. So whether you need another set of hands for a project or even comprehensive marketing management, our team of marketing mavens would love to have a conversation with you to see if we are the right fit. We do everything from logo and design work to email outreach and social media to writing and thought leadership. And here's a fun one. We are now offering our fabulous ebook of top 10 marketing tips on our website for free. So head over to carlsonintegrated.com and grab a copy today. And please always let us know how we can help. My email is Becca, that's BEKAH at carlsonintegrated.com. That's BEKAH at carlsonintegrated.com.
Thank you, Rebecca Carlson, for the intro to Missy Hunter, who's on the show today, who's helping us make the world a better place. It's just another part of the Rebecca Carlson positive energy field. Hey, and join me on a real estate deal if you want some more positive energy. I've got great solutions from all across the country. I'm doing equity deals with guys in New York down here, doing pref equity with them. I've got guys from DC that I'm doing pref equity with. I've got guys, let me rephrase that, folks from the Northwest and Canada that I've been closing deals with. Land loans, bridge loans, pref equity, construction loans. You need it, I got it. High leverage, done deal. Non-recourse, I got that too. So call me if you need a little help and some positive energy. Why? Because when you call me, it's always all about you.
Welcome back to Freedom Business. Connect with us on LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter at Jim Freed or at Freedom Business, and on Instagram at Jim Freed1. Now, back to your host, Jim Freed.
All right, we're here with Missy Hunter. Missy's with a firm that I can't pronounce. It's in Swahili. It means, I think, united, if I recall correctly. But she'll pronounce it again for me because I just can't. And then we're going to talk about some really cool things that you can do to help change the world. Missy?
That's Umoja Supply Chain Solutions.
That's tremendous. Almost as good as your smile. Now, listen, I have lots of friends that are farmers. Let's tell farmers how they can make a social impact by working with you and your team.
Absolutely. We don't tend to do a lot of work directly with farmers, but we know that farmers who are providing their quality crops into packaging facilities, so those things that can be canned either, or they go through that fresh produce side of the supply chain. Right. We work with a wide network of manufacturers across the country. And so those would be the folks who are looking to source and bring in those fresh crops to use in the manufacturing of goods.
So then what you've done is you've found some manufacturers and producers that will work with you to provide your team and the food distribution folks with access to food at pricing, because you buy it, it's not donated, right? At pricing that's reasonable, right? They don't kill us, right? Because they know that this is for people that need help.
Absolutely. That's what we're able to do. If you go to a grocery store, there's an additional cost that's involved in the rest of the supply chain to get it on shelf to you. And so those kinds of things we're able to eliminate by selling directly into food banks and hunger relief organizations. Right. And this just lets us have a huge impact. We can also mix and match things for them. So there may be a small regional food bank can't afford or doesn't need an entire trailer load of canned green beans. They need green beans and corn and chicken and all of these different items. So we're able to combine those things into a load for them. And it makes it much more cost efficient and effective for them to order that way through us and our manufacturing partners.
So then you've gone to corporate America and you've been in this silo for like 100 years. Silo's good for this. You're all across the country. Where are some of the markets that you have your strongest presence?
So we have a location in Houston. We have a warehouse here, a food grade warehouse. We also have a location
here in Chicago, right?
We do have offices in Chicago. We have a warehouse in Ohio. We're out on the East Coast in Pennsylvania getting things set up there. And we have Woodland, California as a distribution center as well. So with those locations, we can deliver fresh produce food items to locations within 2 days anywhere across the country.
How about the Southeast? You looking at the Southeast?
Possibly, yeah. We have there are a lot of wonderful organizations in the Southeast. Florida has just a lovely community of food banks and hunger relief organizations that are working as hard as possible. So the Southeast is definitely a possibility.
I want to change the topic because, food insecurity drives health issues. And everybody goes, well, that person is buying from a food bank, but they look like they eat a lot. I don't know how else to say it. That person may be eating a lot, but they're not eating the right foods because they can't afford it and they can't get it. How do we help America, everybody in America, be healthier?
Fantastic question. And that really feeds into the heart of how two of our divisions come together. So we have our hunger relief and food insecurity, but that food insecurity is a social determinant of health, which feeds into our other division, which is called Food for Health. And that team is focused on that cross-section of those social determinants of health, as well as delivering medically tailored groceries to recipients who have a particular chronic condition and need support in the management or prevention of that condition.
Let me just say it clearly, okay? So you go to indigent seniors and you help them manage their diabetes by eating right.
We have programs that are designed specifically around diabetes, tailored cancer, kidney, renal.
Renal is my wife. I know that. Oh, stop right there. Stop right there. So I'm going to tell people what my wife eats so that she can have a perfect test. And then you see if the person that doesn't have any money can do that. My wife eats 2 pieces of salmon every day. Wild salmon. She doesn't eat any carbs. She can't. Okay? She has to have stuff that doesn't have a lot of extra liquid in it. And this stuff is expensive. So the person needs to at least have, and she needs a certain amount of red meat for anemia. and it's a real diet. Wow, you nailed me on that. Missy, what are some of the other special diets you guys do?
Well, we have diets that are tailored for heart health because we know that hypertension, coronary heart disease.
Very big.
Yes, there's a lot of things that we can do with tailored nutrition. We work with the dietitians to develop these menus based on the specific needs of these patients. And we're able to deliver these groceries as well as educational tools direct to home, which makes it so much more convenient.
Are you kidding?
The person participating in the program. And it means that we can reach areas that are more rural, that have some of those challenges that feed into food insecurity.
You know, my wife and I once, our first date was basically bringing what we called at the time Passover baskets to the shut-ins. There were still a lot of survivors of the Holocaust. We used to bring them up, the baskets to help them get ready for Passover. I'm saying the story for a reason. I want people to understand how important what you do is. So we go upstairs to our last basket and we bring it up to the lady. We walked up on South Beach, a little nasty, walk up flat. Lady lives alone. Wasn't a beautiful place. Lovely lady. We sat and talked to her for a while. We got up to leave. She asked us if we could help her open up the box and tell her what's in it. She was blind. We didn't know for 20 minutes. We knew when we left. After we unpacked the box, the lady put her hands on our foreheads and gave us a blessing. I'm done. What do you have to say about that? I mean, that's almost a way to close our segment, because that's what you do. That's what you do on a wholesale level. And it sounds to me that's what you do on a retail level. And it sounds to me that's what you do on a human level. So there's really only one thing to say to you, Missy. That's God bless you and thank you.
Thank you, Jim.
It's my absolute pleasure. I know it's tough to talk after that, but I think that's where we should actually leave it. How do people find out a little bit more about the organization that I can't pronounce, but I love?
They can visit us at umojasupply.com. That's UMOJASUPPLY.com. You can find us on LinkedIn as well.
Well, thank you so much. Please link in with me. I'm going to send you this, and I'm sending it to people that really can help. I promise. I want to say a special thank you to Rebecca Carlson, who knows me so well that she knew that it would hit me right between the eyes. Missy, thank you so much. I'm going to thank you for me, but I'm going to thank you more so for the people that you will never meet that you help. That is the highest, in Judaism, we call it mitzvah, the highest good deed that you could do. Thank you so much from all of the people that you help, Missy Hunter and the rest of the company whose name I can't pronounce.
Thank you, Jim. And a thank you from the Umoja family.
It's my pleasure. I know it's Umoja, but it's fun to say I can't say it. All right. Thank you so much. You're tremendous. Thanks for playing ball with us. And again, thank you for helping all of the people that keep America going, that need your help. And I truly mean that. You're a great American and a great person, Missy Hunter.
Stay safe and stay well.
Thank you. You too. We'll be back with what I learned at Bisnow after this. Mr. Mendoza, rock the house. All right, everybody, we're Free on Business. We've been on for for 13 years. It's our 14th anniversary. High five. I want to thank our sponsors since 2013, Warren Henry Automotive. I got to say, I just love Larry and the team over there. Larry is a tremendous business success story. We'll get him back on and we'll talk more business ideas with Larry. I don't know if we'll ever be able to get Eric on, but he's really smart. I really want to get Warren on to hear the advice that he gives all the young people that he counsels. And I love Samantha and her team for helping me give away all my clothes to the people that really need it. Now, me, I do. Oh, forgot where I was in the show. I got so into it. When you're looking to buy or lease a car, you want to get every advantage that you can. That's why you have to check out Warren Henry. I lost my track because I like them so much and they do such Great stuff for us. Land Rover, Range Rover, Infiniti, and Jaguar here on 151st and Biscayne up in Gainesville. They sell Audi. Down in the Keys, they sell them all. What do they have in common? They're all great cars. Oh, yeah. They have that Warren Henry advantage, too. That's a list of great things that you get when you buy your car. You know, a loaner car if you're in for service, all these other great things, and especially the best price guarantee and the 72-hour exchange. You take 3 days to make sure you like your car. You will. Join me, my mom, my beautiful wife, Vivian, and lots of our friends. We're all members of the Warren Henry family. You should be, too. Always the best price, always the best service, always Warren Henry. Wow, that's like our theme thing there. I love it. Okay, kindness. We just did the kindness thing the whole first half of the hour about making the world a better place by delivering food. Give me a call if you can work with me on a real estate deal. We've got incredible partners we bring to the table for pref equity, institutional partners for debt, equity. I can finance you all the way up the capital stack. I'm doing a deal right now where the guy needs like $3 million to do a huge 700-unit condo rental apartment deal. Sorry. I can do those all over the country, basically. So give me a call. I've got debt, equity, construction money, pref equity, hard money. You want to do residential housing, can't find your jumbo, I can help you with that too. Call me, because what I really do is solve problems for people. And why do you call me? Because when you call me, it's always all about you.
Welcome back to Freed on Business. Connect with us on LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter at Jim Freed or at Freed on Business, and on Instagram at Jim Freed1. Now, back to your host, Jim Freed.
All right, well, here at Freed on Business and in my universe, we're working hard to turn the page on the pandemic in a safe way. We've relocated. We've got a tremendous place where we're able to broadcast. It's freezing cold in here. It's so cold in here, my nose is running, actually. My wife likes it like a refrigerator. And today yesterday or the day before, I cut my hair. Today, I woke up at 4 a.m. I was so excited. Put on a suit, stumbled around in the dark because I don't know where anything is yet. Actually shaved, but I look like I need another one because it was so early. And went to the Bisnow thing, and it was tremendous. I saw my good buddy, Francis Suarez. Wow, that guy can give a speech, and sounds like he's really doing a great job for the city of Miami. Then we talked about a whole bunch of big deals that were happening. I met a whole bunch of people I hadn't seen in a long time. And yes, I'll admit it, 2 sons of friends of mine are now production people at the different companies. I'm getting old, but I also know how to add value. So let's talk about some of the things that we learned there. First thing I learned is that I was running out of pens. Got a new one. Thank you, Bills and Sunberg. Then I learned that you can go out and work hard to be safe during business. Then we talked about all kinds of major projects. And you go, major projects? What's going on that's a major project? Everything. My good buddy Andy Hellinger was there talking about his project on the river. Met another guy that's doing a huge hotel on the river. Sounds like the river of Miami is really poised for some tremendous growth. And there's even a deal in there that neither of them mentioned that I'm not going to talk about now that I'm working on. Then there's other waterfront deals up and down the coast. And you go, Jim, what do you got to do with that? I'm working on all of them. I've got a tremendous amount of equity that I've got from my partners in New York, and we're looking to team up with wonderful partners to execute with. So if you're a real estate operating company and you need debt or equity, we've got it. Pref equity, that too. I've got a program I'm doing with retail developers. The retail developers, they're getting soup to nuts from my institutional partner. And we're doing these grocery anchor deals up and down the Florida Peninsula. So if you need some equity to do your retail deal, I've got it. Need debt? Well, with my equity, the debt's almost a laydown. We have that too. We have all the lenders that want to work with it. In fact, I'm working on an apartment construction loan over on the southwest coast We've got a pension fund out of the Northwest. They're even bringing in the construction lender. And yes, the construction loan will be non-recourse. Both phases. It's a two-phase deal. My client is going to basically be able to capitalize the land into the deal and take a significant amount of the improvement on the land that he's done. He's held it for like 8 years, changed the land use, really done some material improvements. And the investors, they're going to give him credit for the improvements. So basically, my guy can contribute the land as his equity to the deal. And you're seeing that stuff here in Miami too. What we learned at the Bisnow conference is that there's people out there doing business. All the silos are active. The finance folks were there. The development folks were there. Hotel, retail, multi. In fact, in a couple of weeks, they're going to do a big multi event. I'll be there. They'll be in West Palm next week. I'll try to go there. And the main thing is just getting out there and making it happen. You know, here in Florida, we're seeing incredible development. The mayor was talking about how we lead the nation in tech job growth, and he's brought $1 billion in income here in people that are having jobs. And you go, well, no one's, that's hype. I've gone to the coffee shop. I sat next to the people that moved here from San Francisco and Chicago. I've asked them when they're leaving, and they say never. I asked them what they do, and they say they're in a business that they can do online. Our housing prices here are the second highest in the country. You think that drives any of the deals I work on? You're darn tootin' it does. I sit on there on the calls and the guys are going, rents are going up 5%, 6%, 7% a month. We've got to do more business there. Find us more deals. Guess what? This here finds them more deals. We've got them. So I'm doing like 1,000 units in North Dade. I'm doing another 300 units on the Southwest. I'm doing, let's see, what else are we going to do? Another 350 units. I'll just have to stay west of 95 for now. And we've got people that we can team up with. One developer needs a credit enhancement. I'm going to bring in a second co-developer that has the equity. That co-developer can't find a deal that's as good as the one I'm bringing him. So what do I really do? I mix up the people. Sometimes they know each other. I bring the positive energy and the perspective to them, and then we go. And one of the other things that I bring to the table is a backup plan. No. You shouldn't only have one plan. You should have at least two, and if possible, three. And I do that in a very, very efficient way. We go out and we poll the lenders. In fact, at the Bisnow event, I actually met one of the lenders. I mentioned it a little earlier before. He's the son of one of my friends that I've known for 40 years. I've closed business with his firm. I know everybody on the deal team except for him. And because I came out of my apartment and went to the event, I was able to meet him. I almost forgot what it was like. Then I was watching how the people were networking. Some people would go person to person to person. Another person would just go really deep with one person. And I'm wondering which way would work better. I actually asked the person who went deep why he went deep. And it was because they were close and were getting close and he didn't want to let go. And it was a brand new firm into the marketplace and he wanted to be their go-to person. I thought that was tremendous. Absolutely tremendous. But growth is everywhere. The construction lenders are rocking and rolling. The equity people are here and lined up. Like, my gosh, they're like lined up at the terminal in MIA. And Miami is moving. We're generating incredible tech jobs. We've had incredible job growth down here during the pandemic. We've had job retention. We've had relocations. And we've had internal expansions to a level that's, I must say, mind-boggling. In a couple of weeks, we'll do a show on the office market. We're going to have our friends on the office market again, and they're going to tell us what they're seeing in the office market is just ridiculous. We'll have a show on soon about multifamily, and the multifamily guys will say, if you can get me the land at a decent price, I'm going to be able to build it. And then we'll also get the retail folks on, and that will be very interesting because guess what? Retail is cranking. The ICSC is having a meeting in a few days. I have friends, my development friends are going to go up there. I'm still limiting my vectors if possible, so I'm only going to select number of meetings. If I know people that are going to a meeting, I probably usually won't go. I'll have them instead tell me what it's about, hoping that I'll be able to go to more meetings. in the next few weeks. And then, God willing, I'll get my booster. And then sometime after the first of the year, I'm hoping to go to the University of Florida's next event, which will be the Trends and Strategies Conference at the end of February or beginning of March, where I'm going to, God willing, see all of my Gator buddies. It'll be tremendous. In the meantime, I'm doing deals with them all across the country. I'm just doing them on the phone. Of course, we'll also have Casey Conway. We're going to talk to Casey about the logistics you heard earlier today from Umoja. If I get that right, I hope I did, about the fact that there's logistics involved in everything, including feeding the people that need help from food banks and food distribution, public food distribution. It's an amazing problem. You already know I'm going to hook them up with the people that do that in the state of Florida and try to get it going in the state of Florida. It's just another way that we work hard to bring positive energy to our community. And now we're going to go to a break. It's time for Mr. Mendoza to do his thing. We're South Florida's longest running business talk show. I've been getting all those LinkedIn congratulations on your work anniversary. So it's time to turn the page. It's the 14th season now of Freed on Business. I want to thank everybody that makes it possible, especially Regan Mendoza and Rebecca Carlson, who helped me look good and provide great content, because it's really about producing authentic content. And anybody who watches this show knows there's nothing stylized about it. It's all straight to the bone authentic. Also straight to the bone authentic are my friends at Warren Henry. I thank everybody, but today I'm going to really, on this time, focus on Larry. Larry's in as a young man whose time has come. It's incredible to watch him pivot and move that big company of all the, he's a young guy. He's under 40. And move that company and provide such incredible high quality service and high quality vehicles while remaining able to provide the personal touch, which is what makes them special. That's right. We really are members of the Warren Henry family. So when you're looking to buy or lease a car, you want to get every advantage that you can. That's why you have to check out Warren Henry. Land Rover, Range Rover, Infiniti, and Jaguar up at 151st and Biscayne. Up in Gainesville, they sell Audis. Gainesville. Down in the Keys, they sell them all. The Keys, that's where you're going to get your Jeep, Jim. That's right. That's where I'm getting my big Jeep. What do they all have in common? Well, they're all great cars, and they all come with the Warren Henry Advantage. That's a whole list of services. I haven't unpacked my list for the show yet, so I'm going to go by memory. But the bottom line is that they will give you 3 days to see if you like your car and having a good experience. And guess what? You will. You'll love your car. You won't return it. Join me, my mom, my beautiful wife, Vivian, all of our friends. We're all members of the Warren Henry family. You should be too. Always the best price, always the best service, always Warren Henry.
This is Becca Carlson from Carlson Integrated. A lot of our clients find that they can do anything, but not really everything. We are always excited to jump in and help. So whether you need another set of hands for a project or even comprehensive marketing management, our team of marketing mavens would love to have a conversation with you to see if we are the right fit. We do everything from logo and design work to email outreach and social media to writing and thought leadership. And here's a fun one. We are now offering our fabulous ebook of top 10 marketing tips on our website for free. So head over to carlsonintegrated.com and grab a copy today. And please always let us know how we can help. My email is Becca, that's BEKAH at carlsonintegrated.com. That's BEKAH at carlsonintegrated.com.
Oh, yeah. Carlson Integrated, they help me look good, and that ain't no easy task. They help me. In fact, we're going to have a call tomorrow about my marketing strategy coming up. We're evaluating it and evolving it. But the number one thing that we always project is my personal brand, which is I self-actualize by helping other people achieve their dreams and goals. So if you're doing a real estate deal, give me a call. I can add a little gray hair, a little knowledge. I can help you achieve your dreams and goal on that deal. I'm doing pref equity for one of the biggest apartment developers in South Florida. I just closed that deal. I closed a land loan for one of the biggest healthcare providers in South Florida. I just closed a bridge loan for $90 million for a condo inventory loan on one of South Florida's highest profile projects. And I can help you get your project financed too. Give me a call. If it's complex, that's our specialty. Difficult to do, that's our specialty. Institutional, but you need a little bit of credit enhancement to get there to do an institutional deal, I can bring that to the table too. I'm doing that now on a 900 unit apartment deal. So why should you call me? When you call me, it's always all about you.
Welcome back to Freed on Business. Connect with us on LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter at Jim Freed or at Freed on Business, and on Instagram at Jim Freed1. Now, back to your host, Jim Freed.
Well, here you are. It's the fourth quarter, and I promised everybody I'd tell them what I learned at Bisnow. Really, it was beyond the real estate part. The market's hot, everything's going, lots of lenders, debt and equities chasing, hotel deals can get done, everything can get done if it's got the right sponsor, it's in the right place, and you've got the right capital stack. So let's talk about some of the personal things I learned while I was there. You know, I've been secluded for a long time, and I haven't gone to too many events. I wanted to go to the UF thing last week, but I was afraid. This event was marketed as being, very healthy. Everybody has to wear a mask, all that other stuff. You have to get used to it. I stayed away from everybody. I used my table as a buffer so people didn't come right up at me because they give me a table. I didn't really talk to too many people that were unmasked. I did the best I could to remain safe, and I believe I did a really good job. The people at Bisnow were all masked. They all really worked hard to make sure that it was a very safe event. The hotel staff at the Hyatt, very safe. I actually felt real good at the event. So I think that every person's on their own schedule. I'm working hard to come back out into the marketplace. It's not easy. I'm very concerned because I have Vivian, and she's, as we all know, immunity suppressant problem with the kidney transplant. We're being very cautious with her. I don't get too close to her. I'm just being really careful. So is she. So, each person is experiencing the rollout from the pandemic completely differently. But I must say to each person, find what works for you, find your comfort zone, and stay in your comfort zone. One of the things that I did earlier in the pandemic when I went to some events was I let people know how I felt if they weren't wearing a mask or doing what I thought was safe behavior. Let me tell you, big no-no. Just let them go, let them do their thing, and avoid them, because it's not worth the aggravation. Everybody sees the pandemic in their own way. Everybody addresses the pandemic in their own way. Everybody wants to be safe in the pandemic, I think, in their own way. And I must say is that I even saw somebody that when I told them to stay safe, they said that they stay safe with prayer. So everybody's got their approach, including me. I've avoided a lot of public meetings where everybody was unmasked. And I think I'm going to continue to do that. Over the next few weeks, I'm going to continue to do the way that I networked over the last month or so, and I'm going to meet people outside. I am going to now wear real clothes because it's no longer hot as heck out there. Remember, all summer I was working from Zach the Baker's and had to wear shorts. Now we've got our beautiful new place. It's air conditioned. I can go across the street and meet people whenever I want. I can invite them up here to the Freed on Business studio if I want. Mr. Mendoza will be here in the next couple of weeks, and we're going to do a broadcast live and in person, but from outside. so that we're safe, Mr. Mendoza, because Mendoza has a 6-month-old, and we need to be safe. So what did I really learn? I learned that the designs of the buildings are changing, but the ones that aren't changed aren't really changing that fast, and that we need to really understand where we're going and why. I'll give you another example. I went up to somebody's law office just a couple of days ago. I took Vivian. A month ago, we would have been afraid to go into the office building. When we went into the office building, there was nobody else in the elevator with us. When we got out at the law firm, there were only a couple of people there. Everybody had a mask on, and no one was really on top of us, so we felt good. Remember, this is going to be different for everybody. We all have to take care of the weakest people in our society, the most vulnerable. Let me say it a different way, the most vulnerable, the people that are at highest risk. But we have to start entering society again. How are we going to do that? It'll be different for each of us. When will we do that? That time will be different. I've been doing it very incrementally and very slowly. Like I said, I went forward and I pulled back, and I went forward a little bit, and I'm going to pull back a little and see what's going on. Here in Florida, it looks like things are trending in the right direction. I'm hoping next week that I'll be able to go get my 3rd shot, if not that week, the following week. And I'll look forward to continuing to protect my wife. She's already had her 3rd shot. It's really made her ill and placed her in a bad place, but we're going to be supportive and she'll get through that. Remember, you've got to be supportive. It's time for us all to come together and support each other. That was the point of our first guest, Umoja, I forget the name, but it's Swahili for coming together and united. It's really a really great concept. I want to thank our guests today. I want to thank the folks from Umoja, or I'll say it right, Umoja. Umoja, thank you, Mendoza, for breaking through. Missy Hunter, she was tremendous. That's a woman who gives her life to helping other people. I want to thank Rebecca Carlson for bringing Umoja onto the show. I'll introduce Umoja to the people that I know where they're in the Food Logistical Network, and let's see if they can all get together on that. Next week, we'll have another tremendous show. Right now, I can't remember who we're going to have on. But remember, the person who wants to do something finds a way. The other finds an excuse. Now go out there and make it happen. God bless you, and God bless the United States of America.